Call this meeting to order.
Oh,
Please
maybe that
stand.
has, maybe I got it.
Join me in pledging allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
I think I took.
Welcome to the September 2025 CVT board meeting.
That's a great request.
It's nice to see a group of folks here tonight. So we'll start with the roll call.
Mr. Robinette?
I'm here.
Mr. Belk?
Present.
Mr. Ashby, I'm here. Ms. Baker?
Present.
Mr. Pop?
Here.
Mr. Cummings?
Here.
Mrs. Eccles?
Present.
Mr. Hubbard?
Here.
And Mr. Jackson?
Here. We have a quorum. We actually have 100% of board members here tonight, so thank you. Any modifications to the agenda?
There are none.
No modifications? Consent agenda. Approval of the minutes. Everybody had an opportunity to read through that. I need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Jason, seconded by Lauren. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Committee reports.
There are none.
There are no committee reports this evening. Old business. Policies and procedures.
I do have a modification to the agenda. Can we move the grants up in the interest of time so these folks can get on with their evening, and then we'll circle back to policies and procedures?
Does anybody have any problem with that?
No.
Okay, that's fine. So we'll go ahead and do grants.
All right. First, we're going to call up Brian Gregg from the town of Trafalgar to talk about the Trafalgar Plaza with the amphitheater.
Thank you, Ken. Hello, board. Unlike probably Sarah Beth over here, I don't have much drafted to give you. I'm going to be driven by passion and determination. So ask any questions you may have as we get into this. What I've given you in front of you is the renderings of an existing structure that we could purchase as a town of Trafalgar with your help, solely with your help. What this would provide is additional venue on the 3 acres we just purchased. So I guess I'll back up a little bit here. I've been town manager of Trafalgar for 10 months, and Trafalgar's never had a town manager before, so I'm the first ever. And in 10 months, we've made some incredible strides, and that's not due to me. That's due to our community. It just didn't have a door to knock on. So now they do. I'm here to support my community, not only Trafalgar, but I'm a community and a county partner. I believe in that. We want to become a part of festival country. We really do. You know, we're over here. We're this last piece of Johnson County that is still very pure, and we want to protect it and preserve it. This is very appropriate. A part of that was also the opportunity to purchase a former church that sits on 3 acres in the center of town. It's 2 doors down from the Trafalgar Library. It's bordered by open grass. 2 other entities who we have great relationships with, but there's a lot of room there. This potential structure would exist at the back of that property, sitting against Tower Street. And unfortunately, I don't have a site map. I apologize for that. But this would be down at the back of the property, facing the building. It would be open towards the building, and the building, there's a downward slope in the grade. It's a beautiful lawn. It's already inviting of families with blankets and to come enjoy music, festivals, weddings, events, things like that. So jump in a little bit to the other benefits of this are, you'll see there, the very back page is a quotation sheet. And this is really important to me to provide to you tonight. This is from Glulam Erectors. Glulam was established in 1968 in Trafalgar. They build amphitheaters and structures all over the country. They specialize in erecting glulam beams. They've built the Franklin Amphitheater. They built the Martinsville Amphitheater. They built the Trafalgar Library. They built, if anyone's been to the zoo lately, the outdoor eating area, the snack area, that beautiful exposed wooden beam structure, that's Glulam. We're blessed to have them in Trafalgar. I went directly to them with this idea. I said, what can you build me? What can you do for me? They said, what we can do for you is we can absolutely build you something, and we'll do it at no cost. So they're offering to build this structure,
No markup, correct?
no markup. Thank you for the clarification. Below the- Bye, guys. Let me do So this structure we see in front of us with this picture, this is about a $265,000 structure to any other person. They're offering to do this with no additional markup. It's going to fall in around roughly $131,000. That's them. They said if we can be patient with them and not try to drive them based on the schedule, they need to leave town to erect a structure, we can be okay to pause for a week. They'll come back on the weekend. As long as we're patient with them, they're willing to do this. They're not going to charge man hours. They're only going to charge equipment. And then you'll also see here the glulam material package, the 59.3. That is solely, that is the cost. That's at cost. That is at their cost. No charge to us. They want to do this for Trafalgar. So we could not be more fortunate. To also prove to you that I'm willing to be a good steward of your money, which I'm a good steward of everyone's money, it's my job. This structure is a pre-existing structure. It currently exists in Virginia. And we chose from a library of already engineered plans. So we don't need to add an additional $5,000 to $6,000 on top of this cost to just go get something specifically engineered. Let's save the money. Let's just do something that already exists. It's already stamped. We'll go through this state, we'll get the commercial design releases, things like that. We can't get around that. But why add cost where we don't need to?
Are you saying you're going to build to that plan, or you're going to take that one from Virginia and bring it here?
We would build to this
Build to
plan.
that plan.
Yes, yes. So, that's the plan as it sits. There are some modifications. They want to be complementary to the library. Something that does not exist on this rendering or this actual photo are stone columns. That stone does exist on the library. They may bring that into this. I can also say that this evening I've also spoke with my counsel and the town attorney. We've looked into our finances, and I would be recommending to my town council that we would, at minimum, match a request. I would come to you tonight to request $100,000. Would absolutely put this in motion. I'm obviously not one, like I said, 10 months in, I'm standing in front of you asking to do something like this on a structure, on a property we bought 4 months ago. You wouldn't have to wait to see this happen. We put this thing in motion pretty quickly. So we can, I will make a recommendation to at least match that at minimum. And then we also will, I've worked with Crossroad Engineers. We're doing an overall site plan. It'll be a 20 to 25 year plan if it takes that long. It may not even take that long. But what we can do today, what we can do next year, what we can do year over year into the overall site, this 3 acre site that could expand in the future. There is potential there. Something else I'll tell you, not only would I'd be a good steward of the money, but I'd also be a good community partner. And Ken can attest to this. As soon as we started talking, he said, hey, we'd be willing to hear a grant application from you. I said, I appreciate that. And then I scheduled a meeting with Glulam to have this conversation. And I said, you know what, Glulam, hang on a second. Let me call a few people in. So I made a phone call to Ken, and I said, if you're willing to be a part of this, I'm not going to shut you out of this meeting. So from day one, this meeting was held in partnership with you guys. So you will always have a seat at the table. This will be a partnership build, and anything you may want to see in this space would always be welcome to you.
There's currently a plan in motion for Festival Country markings on this as well, correct?
Yes, so that was one of the visions. When Ken and I are just talking outside, he said, we want to see, there you go. He said, I'd love to see our name on this. I want to see our name on this. And I welcome that. And that's what leaned us into this. Not only is this a more affordable option structure-wise, but this opens, if you see the existing picture I gave you tonight, but putting this on the front, it accommodates that plan. And we'd be proud to represent you guys with that on there.
Did you?
Sorry, Brian is talking about matching funds.
What wasn't mentioned was that by adding the stone columns, the plan for the site, running electric, it will bring that cost to 200,000 plus. So when he says matching, it will require 200,000 to bring this to fruition.
Yeah, I'm very confident with that number, and honestly, possibly 2+, but I have also solidified the potential for that. My advisement to the council will be, I think, like I said, at a minimum, match this contribution. So the other structures like Martinsville, and we kind of went over, how many square foot is this amphitheater? This is 50 feet wide by 22 feet deep.
50 by what?
50
22.
by 22. A little bit out. Awesome. And is the wood going to be a factor in terms of having to stain it, upkeep? I'm sure that glue lamb went over that, but was there anything pertinent? We have discussed this. Anything that would be added. So things we look like here, if we stuck with the steel plates at the bottom, we would err on the side of powder coating those. But that's why we want to steel block wrap those. It's no maintenance. The would require some maintenance, but it's very manageable. I'm sure we can outsource it to local vendors in the area, or we can call Glue Lamb in for some upkeep. But that being said, I don't personally have the date of when the Franklin Amphitheater was erected, but I just left there before I came to this meeting. I wanted it to speak to me a little bit, to be honest with you.
Right.
It's doing well. And this is under roof, so the top side, to keep costs down, we wouldn't do standing seam metal, we would do shingles. Probably, honestly, I'm a big fan of Malarkey shingles. Probably do a 50-year shingle, rubber shingle in there. So staining would be minimal because it would be protected. They did talk about the exposure to the elements, and with the overhangs, it would be minimal. So we're not talking about annual or even biannual. We're probably looking at maybe 5 years.
Have you created a vision for the rest of the park?
With Crossroad Engineers, they're currently drafting that rendering of the overall, because I'm antsy to put a tree in the ground right now. But I don't even want to set a tree in the ground knowing that a sidewalk may be coming through there next year. So we had a meeting yesterday. Pending that meeting, they're going to draft a plan for this. We're going to order soil samples to make sure this is going to be on solid ground, but also they're going to do an overall color master plan so that can be everlasting for the vision of this overall plaza center community place.
So this will be in a spot where you can go ahead and expand out for the whole plaza?
Yeah, where this sits, it'll be at the very far side of the property, and behind this building where we currently have a position or plan to position it, will be backed up to our utility easements where we have our sewer and our water lines running, so nothing can go in there. We can't go in there, so we're going to push it as far back as possible to not interfere with that, but that will then set the scope from there to the other roadway between Pleasant Street and Tower Street.
We have to pull that up on
Yeah, can you, Mackenzie or Felicia, whoever's controlling it.
Whoever's got the.
Connection Point Church on the map is actually the property. So we purchased Connection Point Church property. So you'll see Tower Street there to the east. This would back up to Tower Street, facing west towards the building. It would be centered on the property. We would eventually, like I said, expand parking. That entire western section of the building, from the building out to Pleasant Street, would all be parking to accommodate hundreds of people. We currently utilize that grass space. It's non-issue. There's no drainage issues. I know we do show a drainage way there. There's no issues with that. We purchased the building. We immediately partnered up with the local farmers market. It used to be on 135, which was a bit of a safety concern. They've moved to the farmers market has moved to this space. We have poured concrete there for a very small acoustic stage to accommodate the farmers market as well. We want to create this to be the community hub. So this is where you're going to just know where to go. If something's going on in Trafalgar, you're going to know this is it. This is the focus. Like I said, if you look just here to the west, the amount of houses, sidewalks already exist. Families are already they're walking over to the farmers market now. The community would welcome this with open arms. They already have, with this somewhat talk of what we're doing here.
Do you have any idea on the estimated patron count or attendee count that could be at an event here?
I'm sorry.
How many folks do you think could come to an event there?
I'll be honest with you, I think we would be shocked to find out. And in my time as town manager, I wasn't really sure how I'd be welcomed. I was a little bit nervous. I didn't grow up in Trafalgar. I came from New Palestine, a town much like Trafalgar once upon a time. And I was really nervous. And I'm constantly, and once again, this isn't about me, but I'm constantly told, you're doing a great job. Trafalgar's really starting to come into their own. We've been dying for something like this. We've been wanting a building to have this. We've been wanting a farmer's market. You've been connecting sidewalks. I can now walk here. It would just be, I think we would be shocked, because I've been honestly surprised by the amount of support that exists from Trafalgar to Morgantown, maybe to Martinsville, into Nineveh, Princess Lakes.
Let's reframe the question, not how many people do you think you can attract to an event, but how many do you plan to have sort of terrace seating for, or whatever?
Probably about 3,000, I would
It's
guess,
a
would
pretty-
be fit on that lawn.
Yeah, it's a
It's
It's
probably
substantial.
75% the size of Franklin.
Okay, yeah.
It's-
That's,
Up to subject.
It's
And that's
substantial.
on their property, so should the people, migrate off of their property onto the, Mount Auburn Church, or there's some property to the north, which, as people tend to do, they would likely do that. And based on where the town is looking at placing this, they would still have good visibility on the stage.
It is.
I mean, it's as big, could be as big as Franklin's.
No, I forget the wall. We were kind of judging that the other day.
Yeah,
I wish I could brought my elevation
Yeah.
fall view. It's
And the nice
substantial.
thing about this is the terrain is conducive to, this type of environment, because it is gently sloping. And my one complaint on Franklin is when you're sitting way out in the back, it's kind of hard to see. But in this one, just based on the terrain, I think it ameliorates that to some degree, and everybody would have a good seat.
Has Glulam indicated just a time frame? So from start to finish, when could this be operational? When could a concert series start?
They've told us they could have this standing within 2 months. So if the council approved it and we put this thing in motion, we would probably see dirt moving within a month to 2 months. I think you would see a structure by Christmas.
Anybody have anything?
And Jason, to further add to that, they said this is, so there's custom structures they do offer. This isn't off the shelf. This is a big box version, if you will. These aren't special order. So I think, yeah, we'd have something standing erected by Christmas if we want to.
we appreciate the passion that you have to accomplishing this, and the passion that you have in, with Trafalgar, and trying to bring the town and make it fun and eventful down there. So, does anyone here have any questions?
My only question is, we've got a 187,000 kind of available grant money left. So the question is, I think the whole time we've been talking about this, we've been talking about $100,000, so no problem there. Just want to be sure we still have enough to do the other things we need.
Don, we've got probably 150 left over from last year, so you'll have another 100,000 request in a few minutes. We've got the capacity to do both of those, plus the Bargersville Plaza, plus any miscellaneous grants.
I mean, I think this is awesome. I've been waiting for something big that we can hang our hats on, something that we can dig in and actually make an impact in the community. So I'd make a motion to approve the 100,000. Yep.
I just wanted to ask, the town.
To the podium.
John Young, Board Attorney. You said that the town now owns all of that land. Is there going to be any rezoning of that land, or do you believe that the zoning that is currently there will remain the same? I'm just thinking that if there would be a rezoning, that would be subject to,
We do not, there are no plans in my vision, nor anyone else's who've been in support of this overall vision, future vision, to try to capitalize on the property, because it is prime real estate. We were really fortunate to get this property for what we got it for. But we have no intentions of parceling this out, subdividing in any way, rezoning it in any certain way.
The zoning is appropriate for this.
The zoning is absolutely appropriate. Yes, yes. That was actually first question by Glulam and Crossroads, so we are well on the way. So yes, thank you.
But yeah, I'll go on. to make a motion to approve a $100,000 grant towards this amphitheater under the condition that Festival Country signage, kind of the marketing at Ken and your discretion, working together, move forward then.
I'll second.
One question on the sign, I mean, for how long? I mean, in terms of, is that a permanent,
Forever? Yeah.
sponsorship? I mean,
Is it a board question? Do you want to ask me that question? It's your money. You invest in this. And if we're going to partner on this from the ground up, I mean, as long as I stand here, your name's going to be on this amphitheater. And I'm okay to sign an agreement to state so.
Yeah, I think we would do that. They always have the option to, when they add side buildings, or even now, put side banners for other sponsors. But with us building this from the ground up,
Shouldn't be permanent.
it would be assumed that we would be the permanent sponsor.
This is not possible without you. And like I said, if you'd be comfortable to solidify this, I'm absolutely willing to bring that to the table as well. Because like I said, we could not do this without your help. This wouldn't happen without you. I'd be more than happy to support that.
I heard Jason make the motion. Who was the second?
Several, but
Okay, it has been moved and seconded that we give $100,000 to the town of Trafalgar to build their amphitheater, or assist with building their amphitheater space. Any other discussion? We've been talking about this for a long time. Okay, call to a vote.
Is there also a condition that there will be signage?
Yes, it's a condition that there be signage, approval from the town. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? It is approved.
I'm extremely grateful. Thank you.
Congratulations to all of us.
All of us, yes,
All of us.
all of us. So, thank you so much. I will contain my excitement and tell you thank you.
And if you get it up right away, Jason will volunteer to be Santa Claus.
I know Mrs. Claus right in the
And our attorney plays guitar.
No.
You free to go if you want to. It's your fault. You leave it.
Yes,
He wants to see what's going on with Edinburgh.
I guess I should have made the comment at the beginning of the meeting. If you do come up, or you do want to speak, please come up to the podium and introduce yourself for our live audience.
All right, our next grant is the town of Edinburgh, and I'll ask Felicia to make this full screen because Sarah Beth is going to be having several slides. So I'll turn it over to Sarah Beth Drybread, and she can provide her title, current title.
Good evening, board. Thank you. I'm Sarah Beth Drybread. I'm the Economic Development Director for the town of Edinburgh. And tonight is actually day one of our fall festival. So the fact that several of us are missing out on Holy Trinity's grilled corn tonight means that this is really important to us. So thank you for your time this evening. So in November of last year, 2024, Town of Edinburgh, we actually had gone through a comprehensive plan adoption, and we had, several of you've seen a comprehensive plan. There's placemaking, there's economic development, there's quality of life, parks and rec, all these different elements of that. And our placemaking goal that the town and the community identified is to promote Edinburgh as a unique destination in South Central Indiana. The first two action items for that goal were to collaborate with Festival Country to leverage available expertise, capacity, and funding. And the second action item was to create a flexible public green space in our downtown to accommodate community events, including festivals, farmers markets, and live performances. So the town at the beginning of this year purchased a property at 201 West Main Cross. And if you're familiar with our downtown, this is the entrance to downtown Edinburgh. So this is directly across from our library and just one block south of State Road 252, which is actually going through a revitalization right now and should be complete in 2027. So after the town purchased this property, go to the next slide. I reached out to, we'd actually worked with them for the Eclipse last year, and so I reached out to IU Center for Rural Engagement, and we got partnered up and were awarded the Rural Placemaking Studio Grant with 12 other communities across the state. So this entire year we've been working with the Eskenazi School of Art, Architecture, and Design, and they have been doing this design pro bono for us for this space to create a downtown plaza. This space is currently being utilized. We've been using it for our farmers market. We've been using it for, we had Edinburg is a very golf cart friendly community, and so we've been doing some golf cart cruise-ins. We had a golf cart cruise-in, like ice cream social with a luau, and all the kids got lays, and we had a steel drum, a drummer there actually from Franklin. It was a lot of fun. And then we've been hosting our festivals, and so this is actually 4th of July, and our fall festival is going on right now, so this looks very similar to that, and you can see our small stage is in the back there before this building gets torn down. But where we have all of our festivals in town, our Firecracker Festival, our Fall Festival, is all at this intersection of Main Street and West Main Cross. So those are the current uses, and then as you can see tonight, we have a very dedicated and active Edinburg Main Street organization. So that's who's here in the blue shirts supporting this initiative as well. And we have a board of 11 members that are stakeholders across our community, whether it's downtown merchants, retirees, young people, different business owners, different regional stakeholders that we have, and we've all come together. And we've also been mentored this entire time by Discover Downtown Franklin and Franklin Heritage Incorporated. They've been attending all of our meetings and not only cheering us along, but giving us some best practices and helping us through this whole process. So our Main Street organization, along with the town of Edinburg, is really partnering up to create this year-round programming, concerts, pop-up markets, things like that. And because of the location, it's right there. It's sandwiched in between our school corporation and our library, so there's just a very natural partnership there, and both of them have been on board, and every grant that we've applied for so far, there's been support letters from those organizations. So last week I actually attended the open house for IUCRE, and this is Charlie Nelson. She is actually the grad student that did the design for us, and she did one for us, and then she did some downtown work for the city of Lagodi. And so it was really great to see this firsthand and actually see this vision that we've had for really a couple of years come to life. So our vision for this space is a stage, a water feature, a flexible space to hold all of our markets, shade, lighting, and repurpose the stones that we salvaged from the removal of the Blue River Dam last October. So that dam was taken out. We salvaged all of the stones that we could from that. So they're parked behind our street department right now. And we want to utilize those for not only seating in this space, but really to create kind of a safety barrier in the area as well. Those stones are huge, so no one's driving through those if an accident were to happen. And so we really wanted to create this nice perimeter and really give a sense of the space and make sure that it's well marked and that it's attractive when you're coming into our downtown. So this is just an inspiration. This is not the final design by any means, but this is what the space would look like. And again, it is right at the cornerstone of our downtown, across from our library, entering our downtown historic district. And so we've got a really great vision for this space. And the funding that we have so far is we were just awarded $35,000 from the Johnson County Community Foundation, another $5,000 from the Marlboro Realty Association. We've received $14,000 from the Conover Foundation, which is a local foundation that we work through with Indiana Landmarks, and that was just for the building demo. And then the town of Edinburg invested in this as well with the purchase of the property. We also have earmarked, we're part of the South Central Indiana Talent Region for READY, and so we have $66,000 that's earmarked for that. A couple other projects are not going to be able to be done through Ready 2.0, so I have asked for more money from Ready, and they haven't given me the number yet, but I have been told that we will be getting more Ready funding as well for this. So right now, we have $187,000 that have been secured with this, including that Ready fund, but not the additional Ready funds that we'll receive. And so we are here to ask for, so taking that out, we've got $121,000 that have been committed so far. And so we're here to ask for a match of $100,000. And I want to echo a lot of what you said tonight, because one of the things that we had talked about was obviously signage at this, and we want this to be a festival country stage in our plaza, and we want that. We're committed as well. Again, it's your money, and you've been incredible partners since the beginning, and so we really, I think, we're kind of here representing SoJoCo, Southern Johnson County tonight, and we really want that to be a regional approach to especially the arts and public gathering spaces. And so Festival Country that's what you're about, and we're really excited to partner and be part of this process. It's been incredible gifts, and I was here earlier this year to talk about what the ice skating rink was able to do for our community last year, and using the Placer AI to showcase that we had 1,200 people at the ice skating rink during our Holiday Lights event, and so for a community of 4,300, that's a wonderful turnout on a very, very cold night in December. So we really appreciate the continued partnership with Festival Country. And so this is a little bit closer up of the stage. So actually, when I was talking to Ken over this, he gave me the contact information for the Glulam erectors, and so they will definitely be my first call. Again, this is just kind of inspiration, and we've been getting different quotes, and we work with Crossroads Engineering. Our town council on Monday actually approved a GEO bond, and so we work with Crossroads on a lot of our capital improvement projects, and so this is one of them that we'll be looking for, and working with Crossroads on the engineering for this as well. And you'll be seeing me again because this is phase 1 of phase 2. So phase 2 is we have our beautiful Pixie Theater also in our downtown that is currently for sale, and we have a board that has been working actively on this year as well to acquire this building, and we've been working with some other community partners on that, and so we're getting a lot closer even as this week to being able to acquire that property. And so we want to really make downtown Edinburg this performance space where, if we've got a concert planned at the amphitheater and there's inclement weather, we've got the Pixie Theater, and we can easily be able to go over there and do the things that we want to do and really create that destination. We are fortunate in 3 counties, and so we've got really 3 tourism and 3 different communities to pull people from, and so we want this phase 2 and part of our plaza to really be about a regional approach to the public arts, and whether it's movies, music, author events, things like that. We want to be able to showcase that here in Edinburg. Take any questions?
Yeah, I have one. I know all of you there sit on that committee as well, so I'm a little bit more privy to some of those conversations. But in terms of this center, did they give you any kind of cost breakdown, any kind of just ballpark figures? Because you do have the advantage of having the concrete already there. There is no grading or anything like that, but any kind of unforeseen costs that you may see?
Yeah, so when we did an original estimate, and this was including, lighting, fixtures, trash cans, recycling, anything like that, and luckily my husband works for the Indianapolis Indians, so I've gotten a lot of tables donated from the Indianapolis Indians when they redo their picnic area, so a lot of those things we already have, and so we're looking at about a $350,000 project total.
And that has electricity, everything is already ready to go there?
Yes, so electricity is the one thing. So our Fall Festival is going on right now, and we have over 40 vendors that are all plugged in. And of course, another positive with the town of Edinburgh is that we own our own utilities, and so we're not having to go out and get things. But we've talked to our utility superintendent, and we would like to upgrade our service panel there. We've got about a 200 amp, and we would like to upgrade that to about a 400 amp. So there will be some additional cost, and that's something that I'm sure the town and the electric department can help with.
Once you get the stage and the water feature in and some permanent seating and all, can you still do the other things you used to do there?
Yes, we want this to be a very flexible area. So we've been able to do a lot with a very crappy looking building on the property right now. We've got a lot of flower pots put up in front of it to make it a little bit more beautiful for our Fall Festival going on right now. And so when that building is demoed, and we're working on that right now with insurance and legal, and so once that building is gone, it'll really open up that space, and people will even be able to visualize this a lot more. But we're even looking at our Fall Festival right now of, do we need to cut curbs a little bit more? There's some other areas that we could really open up this space, because we want to still host all of our farmers markets. We want to have an ice rink there, all winter activities and different pop-up events, and utilize the stage for group classes, and we've had great community partnerships all over the county, even with Purdue Extension, to do some Master Gardener classes and things like that are there. So
when you take that building down, you're going to get 50% more space, double the space, triple the space?
It'll be about double the space.
And what is that space? So that rendering, how many people do you think could be in that area?
Yeah, so it's just over half an acre, that space right there. And with the events that we've done, we have blocked off Main Street and West Main Cross there. And so it really even opens that space up a lot more. So I know over the Firecracker Festival, we definitely had well over 1,000 people that were there to attend and watch the fireworks and watch the live music that we had going on.
I'm sorry, I keep asking questions, but in terms of the concert series, that's kind of, I'm trying to envisioning this coming to fruition. So you're having somebody perform, just parking. How many people can actually view the stage? Are there any kind of those renderings that you're like, we could switch this up, or is that going to be pretty set in stone? Because I like to customize the stone features and making it unique to Edinburgh, but also making it open where people are aware of what's going on too.
Yeah, especially this being just one block from 252. If you're at that four-way stop there, if you just look to the right, you will be able to see it, and coming into town, and especially, from the school and from School Hill where our water tower is. So the parking, we've got all the downtown parking. We've got lots at Town Hall. We've got behind the downtown buildings at the community center, and we've got great community partners with the bank and our expert eye care. And over the course of the next 4 days with our Fall Festival, it's really incredible. We have thousands of people that come down to really a 3-block radius, and a lot of the locals are walking or they're taking a golf cart, so cars aren't really an issue. It's really just for those out-of-town people that are coming in for it. And so this is something that, with the plaza space, one of the things that the Main Street group is tasked with is promotion and design. And so looking at different wayfinding signage that we're going to need to put in, and just, for parking, just to make it easier for people to navigate that.
I was literally writing wayfinding as you said that, specifically from the outlet mall in that area, because that is, we have those hotels, and a common question is, what's there to do, where do you go? The vision always goes to the outlet mall, right?
Yeah.
But there is a lot to offer in Edinburgh. So without just taking a detour, the wayfinding would be,
Yeah, we need wayfinding, not only on 31, but actually those back roads, 800 and 900 North, where our fire station is, for, there's a lot of cyclists, there's a lot of people running down that area, and to make sure that they're aware of how to get to downtown Edinburgh. And 2 years ago, during Ready 1.0, we were able to actually extend our Main Street, which this connects to, all the way down to 900, and so there's definitely more of a straight shot to the outlet mall area.
You mentioned all the partners you have because of the town limits going into 3 counties, but your downtown's in our county, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, we actually, so because we're part of South Central Indiana Talent Region, earlier this year I had a Zoom call with a company that the city of Columbus had hired through kind of their living endowment for Ready 2.0, and it's called Project Sphere. And, you know, just the first question they asked me was, what would you like to see happen for your region? And I said a regional approach to the arts and us helping out each other more and being able to book some larger acts that would maybe come in for 2 to 3 days and play at these different venues across our counties. And that was literally what their goal was, to see of how the South Central Indiana Talent Region with Ready could create a more regional approach to the arts.
Any other questions for Sarah? Sarah Beth? Okay. Thank you. Moving forward.
Yeah, I am a firm believer that Edinburgh is a hidden gem, and it's just been waiting for something to wake it up. Before I guess I put something into motion, you mentioned 350 is the ballpark number. If I did the math correct, there's about 60 to 70 grand still up there. Do you have any idea of, I guess, the timeline, if there be any kind of hiccups with those?
Yeah, we've got some grants that are still out there, and we've got some other community partners. The Conover Foundation is one that we went to just for the demo of the building, but we will be going back to them. We also have some ready funding that we know we'll be getting some more of. We're not sure what that number is yet. And then with this GEO bond, we're hoping to be able to capture some of that. We also have some money for the first time ever in our TIF district, which is our downtown, and so we've got about $220,000 that we can play with a little bit and hopefully invest some of that in the plaza as well.
Yeah, what is the expected timeline for construction and opening?
I can get this daggone building. So we have been shooting for May of 2026, kind of around Memorial Day weekend, to be able to open up and have our first concert series that next summer, and our farmers market always starts in June, so be able to really kick things off.
Cool. Anything else from the board? All right, I believe we have a formal request. Do we have any action?
I will make a motion. First of all, I want to thank our guest from SoJoco. Taught me that I live in Nojoko. I'll make a motion that we approve a $100,000 grant toward the construction of Edinburgh's downtown plaza, with one contingency that some Festival Country signage is applied as worked out between the staff members.
And I will second that one. So the motion by Don, seconded by Donnie. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call to a vote. All those in favor of awarding $100,000 to the town of Edinburgh for their mixed-use plaza, with the consideration that signage for Festival Country will be present. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We need to keep that check.
Yeah. All right. We had 2 more grants come in late, one 40 minutes ago.
Good.
I called Felicia, she Xeroxed it and brought it over, so there's a few copies up there. That is, Trafalgar has a farmer's market that wants to have a fall event. So they're seeking, it's going to have live music, etc. They're seeking a $2,500 event grant. The timing is October, so unfortunately we have to decide one way or the other now, because if we wait till the October meeting, it'll be too late for us to get any of our images on any of the branding and marketing. So I'll give you a minute to look that over And
Is this an existing event or? Is
it's a second year.
Second year?
First year at the new community space, so that'll allow them to kind of really kick off that space and start utilizing it in the way we've talked about.
And a good way to come up with what's to come.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ken, what was the ask on that?
$2,500.
25?
And how are they going to be spending that?
They've got music and other things, music, marketing, just putting on the event. Yeah.
$2,500 has been customary for a first year of an event, but not for a second year, and I don't see where they asked for $2,500.
Well, it's the first year they're requesting it, so that would be the standard ask for the first time they're approaching it. It is it's
Okay.
in its second year, but it's the first year they're reaching out to us.
Fair enough.
Has everybody had an opportunity to look through this? Looking through it now?
Could you give us a recap of, I guess, where the 200,000 is coming from, what we have, just that breakdown?
Yeah. All right. So we've got almost 200,000 available in this year's money. We had about 150 that we did not spend last year. And if some of these projects don't get the money spent this year, we could have even more left over this year that we could move to next year. So I see no issue with us doing these two plazas, Bargersville's Plaza, and any of these grants that are coming up. We're in quite good shape.
I mean, I have no questions. We're already supporting, essentially, the birth of this, what's to come. So I will put into motion, I guess a grant of $2,000 to go towards this, being that it is a first time that we are going to be involved, but it's also an existing event with no overnight travel, but a way to also promote what is to come with the investment in their amphitheater.
I'll second that.
It has been moved and seconded that we provide $2,000 to Trafalgar Farmers Market Corporation for their event. Is there any further discussion? Has anyone had adequate time to look through the application?
So the request was 2,500, but you're
Right.
making a motion for two?
Yep. Because second year event is 1,500. Yeah, making it fair.
Okay, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. $2,000 awarded to Trafalgar Farmers Market.
All right, we'll get in contact with them then. Lastly, former board member Brian Alvey, I believe his son is involved in Franklin Wrestling, so he passed along that there's a golf outing September 28th at Bluff Creek Golf Course, and the sponsorship opportunities vary from whole sponsor, $200, all the way up to Grizz level at $1,000. So Brian wasn't able to make it this evening, but I'll just go ahead and pass this down, and you can take a quick look at it as well.
So came in a bit late.
You know the location of Bluff Creek? I'm not familiar.
It's Greenwood.
It's, yeah, it's up on the western side of 69, north of the new interstate entrance. Well,
North of 140.
well, west is,
The interchange.
yeah, but it's between, I think, it's between Smith Valley and, I have a handy dandy little map here.
So it's in Johnson County?
It's in Johnson County.
Okay.
but-
And what exactly was the ask on this? Is it whatever we?
Exactly, there's no specific ask. He first asked if I wanted to golf, and we don't want to see that, so that was rejected.
It's, yeah, Franklin football.
Wrestling.
Did he say how many people they expected to attend? Like if we were to, say, sponsor a hole or something like that, how many people are actually going to see that?
I would defer to if there's any golfers on the panel here of how many are at a typical outing. 144, thank you.
There you go.
I'm glad you stayed to answer these golf-related questions. 144 is my average shot for a round, by the way.
How you do on the back nine?
That was the first hole, Paul. We can talk about the second hole later.
Just so we have something to aim consensus for, I'm not making a motion yet, but I would lean towards sponsoring a hole.
What was the whole sponsor?
$250.
$250.
200, I think.
200.
Ken, does the staff want to work the whole sponsorship?
No, we would not, just based on the number of people. I mean, we do concerts where it's, we're going to reach a couple thousand people. It's generally not a time investment. I think just our signage there would be what we would go with.
It says on here, if you donate 500, you're in the program and your logo will be on their shirts and things like that. For an extra $300.
And the whole sponsor said you would be in the wrestling team's programs all year.
Okay.
So there's that. Didn't it?
Yeah, your name would be listed in the winter program, but if you do the 500, then you'd have a half-page ad in the winter program instead of your name. So
Yeah, that's obviously an upgrade.
And this would be considered sponsorship, is that what the
That's
ask
correct,
is?
yeah.
Ken, do you think this opens up the door to the basketball team, the softball team, all asking, or?
Yeah.
And then
That's certainly a possibility.
Yeah.
between all the different cities.
The way I'm gonna vote on it.
I mean, obviously, this generally attracts locals, but, certainly, I'll just leave it to your discretion. We can certainly support this, or...
I will make a motion to deny the request, just being the fact that there'd be however many high school sports, events, fundraisers that it would be setting a precedent, especially it's outside that tourism scope, so.
I will second that.
Have you ever donated to any other things like this?
We have never historically done that. This would have been the first.
Okay.
It's been moved by Jason, seconded, I think, by James, that we deny the request for sponsorship. Any further discussion on this? Hearing none, call to a vote. All those in favor of the denial? Say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion passes.
You vote on the denial.
It reminded me of Don last year, if we did the hybrid.
Yeah, sounds great.
Cracked up.
Anything further?
I was just gonna ask Ken if this was a discretionary sponsorship determined by the director, what would the director have done?
We haven't approved the discretionary fund.
It is, it's still there.
We have a policy to write. Anything further?
No, that's all
Any
for the
grants?
grants. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you. You guys are welcome to stay for the meeting, or feel free to leave.
Please run while you're given the opportunity.
Yeah, whenever anything happens, I know I would like to be there for whatever.
Sarah Beth, I'll call you if you have
Let us
any
know
more
the
questions, like
groundbreaking or
golf
something.
numbers or whatever.
That's right, yeah.
Stay by your phone. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Now it's a race, let's see who opens first.
That's right. There you go.
Wow.
Wow, all right.
All right, so we'll backtrack just a little bit. We'll go to old business, policies and procedures.
Yeah, you've all had a chance to review the latest version, which was in your board packet. John Young has reviewed it and had us add a few things, but we'll call John Young to the podium.
Thank you, John Young, Board Attorney. Yeah, I reviewed the policies and procedures. I think you saw the couple of recommendations. I saw some additional language just showing that we follow the law regarding live streaming our meetings. One thing that had been adopted that I caught, that I think you guys are changing, is that for your executive sessions, it was worded that to invite somebody to an executive session, that it needed to be a unanimous approval by the board, and just said you may want to consider majority approval. There'd be good reason why you wouldn't necessarily want one member, okay, to invite an individual to an executive session, but I think the same thing could hold true that you wouldn't want one member to be able to veto an invitee to an executive session. And you
did make that change in the document.
Yeah, I think you're adopting that, and as well, I like the clarification to the conflict of interest to help get. I think it provides a little better guidance to the members on under what circumstances you'd abstain from a vote or abstain from commenting. I did, and I don't know if Ken circulated that, but I did find a state-approved conflict of interest policy. I don't think for this year, I don't think any changes need to be made from what is proposed, but I do like the states because it is the policy in and of itself. So maybe in the future you'd want to take a look at that. There's some, I think it defines some things a little bit better. And I also know it's approved by the state, but with that said, I don't have any concerns about the proposed conflict of interest policy, and I think the clarification is helpful. So that was my comments on that.